Hi, I'm Rich from Trapping Inc. TV. Out on the trapline, we have to have power. There's just nothing else. You have to have light, you have to have power to charge things. We have cameras, we have cell phones. Have to have that morning coffee. That's damn important, let me tell you. We depend on Yamaha. This Yamaha 3000 has been a spectacular performer for us. But before we even get into a review on this unit, how do you know what generator or inverter or what size do you need? Now, that brings up a really good question because there are generators and there are inverter generators. This is an inverter generator. The difference is that a generator runs at about 3,600 RPM and it's connected directly to an alternator producing alternating current. Now, it always has to stay at 3,600 and it doesn't produce the cleanest power. There's a little bit of fluctuations. Any stumble or whatever in the RPM and the power isn't as clean. How an inverter generator works is it also is powering a alternator, and that alternator that produces an AC current. That AC current is converted to DC, and then an inverter inside of here inverts it back to AC. Now, when it inverts it back, it is pure power. It is just as pure as what you get out of your plug-in at home. So, what do you need? A generator or a inverter generator if you have anything with a microprocessor in it. So if you're charging a phone, heck, even today's coffee pots all have microprocessors in them. They need clean power. Okay, so that's where the inverter generator comes in. Other strong features of the inverter generator are because it doesn't have to run at 3,600 RPM, it usually idles along at about a quarter throttle, and you get a lot better fuel consumption at that speed and a lot quieter. This is, I think, 51 or 52 decibels at idle, at quarter speed. That's incredibly quiet. It holds 13 liters of gasoline. That's good for 20 and a half hours at quarter speed. Those are huge numbers and extremely important on the trapline because we don't want noise out there. It's part of the reason we're out there is to get away from all of that. We also don't need to be feeding a ton of fuel. I had one generator on actual generator on a construction site, and in the average week, when we were running that generator 14 hours a day, average week, 7-day work week, that generator was burning more gas than my pickup truck was. It's running constantly at that 3,600 RPM. Okay, so let's talk a little bit about this particular generator. This is the Yamaha 3000, and what that means is that it produces 3,000 watts, surge watts or max watts, and it will sustain 2,800 watts day in and day out. If you're running it at maximum, producing that 2,800 watts, you'll get about 8 hours of fuel out of a tank. Still pretty remarkable. But once again, you're producing that very, very clean power. It's got an on-off fuel switch here, which allows for the portability. Just give it a switch. You don't worry about fuel draining out or flooding through. Electric start and a pull start. Now, with the pull start, the cool thing is it's got automatic decompression in it. I will say this though, we went through a lot of cold weather and never once did electric start not work. As a matter of fact, we had an option put on it, which is the remote start. So you could get up in the morning, you could push a button in the cabin, this would fire up and lights would come on. It was awesome. But that electric start is nice because you don't ever have to worry about having to pull, because sometimes, in the cold, that can be difficult. Here you've got a switch, the Econo switch. So rather than if you have frequent loads that are bumping it up like tool draw and that kind of stuff, you can run it at a much higher RPM and it will stay there just by flipping the switch. Otherwise, it goes up and down very intelligently and very smoothly. There are two 15 amp plugs. They're controlled by a breaker, and this breaker controls the 23.3 amp plug, twist lock. You can also go directly to charge a DC battery with a connection that comes with the unit. There's low oil warning. Not only does the light come on, but it automatically shuts down your generator and will not allow it to start again until the oil's been topped up. But that light stays lit, letting you know why it shut down. This light lights up nice and bright and green, show when you're producing enough power to plug into. And it's got overload protection. Once again, it will shut the unit off or kick out a breaker, show that you've overloaded, and that light stays lit. The unit is extremely portable, comes on wheels. Now, most other brands at this size do not come with wheels. This even has a lock on it for a parking brake. So once you put it in place, you set your brake and it stays there. The wheels are awesome. The unit weighs 148 pounds. So a little bit heavy that way, but with the wheels, it gets around really easy. Gas tank is up on top here with a easy clear view gauge. Very simple to fill, very easy to fill. Behind this panel here is where you check oil and also where your plug is for changing oil. Very easy. There are no filters involved. You just drop your oil out and put 6/10 of a liter, I believe it is, back in. What do you say? We've ran this machine now for over a year out on the trapline, and it has been flawless. It started no matter how cold. It has ran all day long, 10, 12 hours some days. All we've done is add gas to it and changed oil when the oil change was scheduled. It comes with a 3-year warranty, and like all Yamaha products I've had anything to do with, it doesn't let you down. It just runs and runs and runs. It's one of those products that you feel good about buying.